Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be covering the Mermail Atlantian deck profile that a lot of you guys have been requesting. I'm still kind of testing the deck out, but I think this deck is definitely playable at the way it is right now. So it is the Genex build, so there are different ways to run the Atlantian, water archetype. There's so many different ways to run this deck, and I think this deck will definitely have a contender to be a top tier deck in the next format once all the cards get released, because some of the cards are from Abyss Rising, so not everything is out in the TCG yet. But yeah, you could definitely test out this deck and then let me know what you guys think. But yeah, let's go over some of the combos that I'll go over the deck profile. So basically, the build is the Genex build. So you want to open up with Genex Undine every time, especially when you go first. It just sets up so much for your potential to win in the game, because you have this card, which is basically Trap Dash Shoot / Drag Down. And when you hit cards like, a Dark Hole and stuff like that, you can really overextend on the field, not really having to worry about anything, depending on what deck you're playing against. But yeah, basically the first turn combo is when your opponent has nothing on the field, like you're going first, you want to normal summon Undine, activate its effect to send a water monster to the graveyard, and you will send Atlantian Dragoons. Dragoon's effect, once sent to the grave for a water monster's effect, you can add one Sea Serpent type monster from your deck to your hand, except for himself. So that has no restrictions other than Sea Serpent type monster, so you can add any level, which is really good. So if you have the combo and you want to go for a big field, you can go for Abyss Meglo over here, or you can go for a setup for next turn by adding a Deep Sea Diva. So really good stuff, and when you have this card, it just makes everything problematic for your opponent, because this card is technically a +2, although this card is not very good to draw. It is unfortunate, but you do have to play it. Keep in mind, if you do not have this card in your deck, you can't activate his effect, because you must be able to add that Genex controller. So keep that in mind. You can't just not play Genex controller. But the thing with Genex controller, I am playing Allure of Darkness just so I can Allure of Darkness him. There are only 3 dark targets in the deck, but trust me, when you have triple Moray of Greed, double Duality, and you have triple Undine to start with, and you have, of course, your targets anyways, you'll be able to use Allure of Darkness, don't worry. So next up in the deck, pretty much went over most of this. We went over, there's nothing to go over with Genex controller other than he is a tuner. That is the one upside to him, that he is a tuner. Plus he's dark, so if you wanted to make Locomotion or Genex, you definitely can do that. Atlantian Dragoons, he's actually pretty good, because you can go, if you inflict battle damage with Atlantian Marksman, you can actually just summon this guy and then get 1800 more damage, and that'll be the most amount of damage you can really bring out with my build, that is. There are other cards. I think there's, is it Pointman? And Pointman deals 2200 attack when there's another face-up Sea Serpent type on the field or something like that. I didn't choose to play him because I didn't really like drawing that card. Yeah, this card is definitely really good, just because you get to add any Sea Serpent type, and I think, he's pretty good. He also has another effect that all face-up level 3 or lower Sea Serpent type monster you control can attack your opponent directly. So you can just have this card attack directly, bring out more monsters, and just, cause more problems for your opponent. I know sometimes when someone goes for a first turn in Zen mains, some decks just don't have an answer, and that'll allow you to just be, that's cool, you wanted to go in defensive, I'll just attack you directly. And then wait for them to make a move, and if you continuously attack directly, you can bring out double of these, maybe make a Roach, depending on what deck you're playing against. Roach is kind of key. Next up, Heavy Infantry. Now, I didn't really like drawing this card. I like to discard him, when I had him in my hand. But the thing was, I don't like him too much. He opened up plays with Gotchi, which was nice. But his effect is, when discarded to the graveyard, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy that target. I really didn't feel it was necessary, because most of the time in this deck, I felt like I could make Catastor, and against a lot of decks, a lot of meta decks just don't like Catastor, and Dio just goes, it's cool, I'm just going to get rid of the card anyways. But yeah, he definitely is good. You can opt to play 3 in there. I just want to try to keep this deck as close to 40 as possible, and I ended up going to 41. I generally like to play 40 card decks, that way I can draw into my, good cards as, all the cards that are at 1, essentially. You have a better chance to draw them when you're running a lower count in your deck. But yeah, he's definitely a pretty good card. You can bump him up to 3 if you'd like. Now this is probably one of my favorite cards. This is Atlantian Marksman. Now I'm sure some of you guys have seen the OTK that I pull off. And there's a lot of times where people will just quit once you have this. Basically, all you have to do is have Abyss Meglo and a Diva, and then be able to special summon this guy. And then what you do is you have Abyss Meglo, you special summon him, and then you get to add a Abyss Sphere. Depending on what cards you discard, you pop face-ups, face-downs, and then you go Diva into a Marksman, and then you use Abyss Megalo's effect, you tribute Diva. This card can now attack 2 times that turn, and so he's 48, this card's 1400, and this card's 1800, which is exactly 8,000, so pretty easy way to beat your opponent, especially because you can search out, any key card, Diva or Abyss Megalo with the Undine to Dragoons, or just discarding Dragoons for a Water Monster's effect. Also, you have triple Mermail of Greed, so you can pull that off really easy, but if your opponent has back rows, you might not want to do it. But you don't really go that minus, because the cards that you discard, you get effects with anyway, so it's pretty good. Yeah, this card definitely is one of my favorite cards in the archetype. I think he's really good. At first, I was trying Lances, so I would activate them when my opponent attacks me, but sometimes they would space me and then attack over him, and then I'd be like, oh, that's unfortunate. But next up, this is the tour guide of the deck. There's no tour guides in here, surprisingly. I tried tour guides. It's much better without tour guides, honestly. As much as I love tour guide and BLS, they just didn't really work in here, because there's no lights. I mean, you can make Android pretty easy, but originally I was playing, that's how I played. I was like, oh, that's cool. Diva to get Android all the time, and the deck doesn't really need it, to be honest. But Black Soldier does steal games. But yeah, that said, Diva is like your tour guide, and she's at 3, so pretty good stuff. And you can make Gachi by just going for a heavy infantry if you wish. Heavy infantry also has another effect. During your main phase, you can normal summon a level 1 or lower Sea Serpent type monster in addition to your normal summon plus set. So this card's pretty good as well, just for that other effect. So keep that in mind. You have options in this deck. I like decks that have options. Next up, 3 Undine, which we went over. This is the Undine, the Genex build, so that means that you basically want to open up with him for a turn and secure really good advantage. Next up, Gorse, because there's all the back row in this deck doesn't really exist. There's not actual back row. You could try the back row, but I feel like this deck, you can just pop everything anyways and just win. With this card, this card's amazing. And you can just beat your opponent anyways, and yeah, I really like this card. I just feel like you don't really need any back row hate, because you can just discard your Water Monster's effect, and they have effects in the graveyard, so if there's a skill drain stopping you, you can just get around that. And you can even side or main deck skill drain in this deck, which is pretty awesome as well. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely run maybe an MST or two, but I really felt like, you didn't really need it, and I've been playtesting with it for quite some time. There's not really anything that really hurts this deck. I would say. I mean, you can usually just pop anything anyways, like I said, because the monsters that you're discarding won't have to be, on the field, and they can't really negate you discarding these cards to special summon him. So pretty good stuff. Also, one thing to keep in mind with Abyss Megalo, you cannot Thunder King and tribute Thunder King to negate him. It's just the way it's ruled. So keep that in mind. That is a plus if you're playing this deck. But if you're playing against this deck, it can be kind of annoying, because your Thunder King will be very sad, and Thunder King is a popular card. But next up, after Gorse, we're going to talk about Abyss Linde here. She's pretty good. So she's kind of like the floater in the deck. So when she's destroyed, instead of the graveyard, and what I love about it, it doesn't have to be by your opponent's card effect, so that's pretty good. You can special summon one Mermail monster from your deck, except for Mermail Abyss Linde. The effect of Mermail Abyss Linde can only be activated once per turn. So I'm glad they put that in there, otherwise there'd be a lot of shenanigans that you can do with Abyss Linde. But yeah, basically you want to Abyss Sphere, get her out. Abyss Sphere will destroy the monster, or they'll destroy Abyss Sphere, or this is a good chainable to when they activate Heavy Storm, MST, you just chain this card, go for this, I think yeah, she's a mermaid, and you just go for her, and then when she dies, you go for a 24 beater. So it just sets up a pretty good advantage against certain decks that can't deal with big beaters, like Gladiator Beast. I hate that. Any anti-meta deck will super lose to this deck. This deck has such a good, I'd say, matchup against anti-meta, any slow deck really. Then we're playing triple Mermail Abyss Megalo. Now he's pretty good. I mean, he really sets up your OTKs. Because you contribute a face-up attack position water monster, and he gets to attack twice. Also, when you special summon, when you discard 2 water monsters from your hand, it can add the an Abyss spell/trap card. I felt like this one was probably one of the best, but keep in mind this does have an effect of you cannot activate spell cards when this card's out. So that's the downside to this, but usually you chain it anyways, or you activate a spell card and then you just go for it, so it's fine. Next up, we're into this. Oh, wait, we gotta go over Abyss Turge. Now, I didn't really like this card originally, but the thing is, his effect apparently is cost. I mean, I don't think he's out yet. I don't think any of the Mermails are out yet, so we'll find that out hopefully soon. But as far as I know, his effect is a cost. So that means when you special summon cards with Abyss Sphere does negate their effects. However, since it is a cost, you can still do card costs, even though their effects are negated. But yeah, his effect is a cost, so you can discard one water monster to target one level 3 lower water monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. The effect of Mermail Abyss Turge can only be activated once per turn. I like how all their effects are once per turn, because it really does make it a little bit more fair. So you can't do absolute shenanigans, but you can still do a lot of OTKs in this deck. But yeah, he was just my other target with Abyss Sphere, also with Abyss Linde, because she does not negate the whatever it brings out. She doesn't negate their effects. So you can just Abyss Turge, discard one water monster, and target one level 3 lower water monster, and add it to your hand. So you just add Linde back. So it's kind of like a little loot that you can do, although it's not too good, to be honest. Next up, we're playing Allure of Darkness. I think we talked about this, but I mean, you have triple Mirror Read, you have double Duality, you have triple Undine, and of course the 2 controllers. This basically is the only way that this card really gets any use, because you get this card for free anyways, and it's not too good. So you just Allure of Darkness it. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is Scrap Dragon plus this card. Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, because you get the effect whenever it's just destroyed, as long as it goes to the graveyard. Yeah. But yeah, Dark Hole, heavy Mind Control, because you have Triple Diva and you have these guys, and Exceeds exists, so Mind Control pretty good in this deck. Reborn shouldn't need explanation. And this is like more dualities, but you can still special summon, so this card's pretty good. Then Pot of Avarice, because you can go through your monsters pretty fast in this deck, so yeah. And then double Duality, because I want to open up with this. This plus this equals I have a good chance of establishing a really good game, because I can just I know exactly what you're gonna have, and then I can just win. And if you have no back row, you're probably gonna get OTK'd, because I was able to add a Diva or Abyss Megalo, and then I'll just OTK you. And so that was the goal of the Genex build, was to essentially you can put a lot on the field if you know what your opponent has, and you gotta play the dualities and you gotta play the Mirror Read if you want to get it as consistent as possible with the first turn Undine plus Water Art. Next up, Avarice, because you go through monsters, Duality, because consistency to get that one, that little combo right there. Salvage, I mean, I almost thought about taking this card out, but it's so good when your opponent activates cards like Card Destruction or anything that lets you discard cards, and then you just be like, oh, it's cool, I'll just go plus later, and I'll just be Salvage. Pot of Avarice, you can opt to play just one of these. You can play more salvages. I know a lot of people do like it, but you can open up with those clogging hands sometimes if you play too many salvage. I've noticed that. At first I was like, salvage is a +1, let me put 3 of those in the deck, but yeah, sometimes you open up with 2 salvage, 2 Mirror Read, and then there's cards you can't really use, like Reborn, and you're like, awesome, I can't really use these yet. But yeah, keep that in mind. Then I played 2 Abyss Sphere. I was playing 3. This is probably one of my favorites, but I had to make room for 3 Spiritual Water Art, because that was the goal of the deck. I mean, if you're playing the Genex build, it really is good to play this, because Undine, only at 1200, he doesn't protect himself at all. He's just sitting there waiting for Thunder King to run him over, because that happens all the time. But yeah, you can always just wait for them to, summon Thunder King and attack, or you can just be like, oh, it's cool, let me just see your hand. No Thunder King for you. Alright, my turn? Okay, you have no back row, it's cool, go for game. The deck really does excel at that. And I've played a lot of people and they've quit, but I don't blame them, because, I mean, when I get to dust shoot them, and then I have, again, whatever one I'm missing, and I could just go for my play and just win, it's kind of unfair. The deck can wreck really fast. It has a good pace to it. You can sit there and set these cards and just play it chill, and then wait, and then heavy, then go for game. I like the pace of the deck. It reminds me of, old school X-Sabers, which was one of my favorite decks to play. Although there's not that many floaters in here. You could opt to play, let me show you this card. This card is a Mother Grizzly, so he's like the Mystic Tomato of waters, but for some reason he is a Beast Warrior that is water. I don't know how it's water, because it's not like swimming. The background is purple. But apparently it's a water, so this is the Mystic Tomato for waters. So you can summon Linde if you want to play more, more floaters. You want to play a slower build, but I don't really feel like you need to, because you're gonna go for this, because it's the Genex build. Maybe in regular Mermails you can try that. But yeah, let's go for the extra deck. Catastrophe, pretty good first turn against certain decks. Pretty standard. Now this card's water, so it's pretty good, because once per turn you can discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard to target the same number of cards your opponent controls, and you can destroy those. So it's pretty good considering he's water, that you can just be like, oh, it's cool, let me just discard these water cards, like Dragoons, like these, and you just pop stuff. It's like Brinac, but then you get to destroy, and then you get to get a plus, which is pretty good. But yeah, I haven't really made him too often. But the tuner can be non-water, so that's pretty good. You know, this guy's looking pretty happy over here. But yeah, Gungnir is probably one of the best things to make, but I just feel like you don't really need it, to be honest. And Gungnir is a 7, right? I haven't made this card in a long time. Yeah, it is 7. Because I remember you can make it with like Debris Dragon plus Snowman Eater, if you want to play those cards in here. But yeah, this card's also 7, so one thing to take note, Big Eye, it's just there, because you can special summon these if you happen to have multiples in your hand. It's there, so like I played Big Eye. But we're at Android. Android's just good, you know, just to heal up sometimes. It's okay. Mistworm, because you can make it quite easy in this deck. I mean, it's just this to this. Oh, it's cool. I got a direct attack in. Okay, special summon this. It's cool. This is 5, and then 7, 8. Wait. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I was correct there. I had to make sure because I'm awful at counting. But yeah, you can make Mistform, like I said, pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, you usually don't go for too many synchros. I mean, majority of the games, I make this, like, all the time. I almost want to bump that card up, too. And then I started playing Librarian in here, because when a player activated Gold Sarcophagus and would go for Kindling, and then they would end their turn with, like, nothing on the back row, I'd be like, oh, so you're playing Laval's. Okay, Diva, Marksman, get my attack in, if I can, special summon something, and I'll go, it's cool, let me make Librarian? Okay, you want to make Quasar? Cool, I'll draw a bunch of cards, and then I'll probably just win anyways, and it really annoys them. There's Gotchi. Gotchi's pretty good. You don't banish too often, but he is here. There is actually another water card. I forgot its name, and it's not in here. But when I was playing regular Mermail Atlantians, I was playing it. It's some water card, and then when you, its effect is you can detach to special summon a water monster, and it like negates their effects, and it doesn't have detachments or attachments. I forgot what the card is, but if you guys know, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe you can help someone else out that is looking for that card. I don't. Let's try to find it right now. I know it's an XYZ, and I'm pretty sure it is going to be a. Actually, I don't know what type it is, but it is a water. Let's see if we can find it. Is it Bahamut Shark? Oh, here's the card that I was talking about. So it requires 2 level 4 water monsters. Most of the time I'd make Roach. Anyways, but you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card to special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack the turn you use the effect. So if you wanted to be awesome, you could go for Bahamut Shark and then special summon a... Oh wait, rank 3 or lower... Yeah. So you'll special summon Acid Golem, and then you creature swap and you give it to your opponent. So then that way on your opponent's turn, they take 2,000 damage, and then they can't special summon, which is awesome. Originally I was playing creature swap in here. I wanted to try. Maybe I'll make a deck specifically to do Bahamut Shark, and just to kind of make my opponent really mad because it's kind of funny. But yeah, there's that card. I haven't actually checked out some of the new ones. Maybe we'll go over some of these. 4 level 4. You probably won't make that, right? 2 level 4. Let's check out this one. Any number of water monsters hand? Oh, these are the ice counters. I don't think it'll really work in here. But we got the Gagagagiko. This card's pretty awesome. Ifugishki. I'm sorry. I started like getting sidetracked and checking out. Let's check out these because maybe we can actually use some of these because I haven't checked these out. Maybe these just came out. So let's press level 4s. After damage calculation, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach one material and shuffle the destroyed monster into the deck instead of. That's okay. But, I mean, most of the time when I have 2 level 4 monsters, depending on the deck I'm playing against, I always make Roach, because it's so good. Especially when you get, like, Stardust and then go for Roach, it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a really good field. And then your opponent's playing Dark Worlds and they don't even care. But, I haven't seen this card either. Let's check out this one. Oh, no, we're not even bothering checking out this one, because you can't get out 4 level 4s, like, it's gonna be insane. And at that point, why haven't you made enough stuff to just win? But yeah, I mean, there's not anything. I mean, I would say the only things you really need are Catastor and this card, because these cards are really good. Other than that, everything else is kind of optional, because you really don't exceed too much. This card's good, though. I mean, it got reprinted, so it's just, if you have extra room, throw it in there. Again, if you're playing against, like, any Synchro Heavy deck, bam, you make this first turn. It's like, cool, go ahead. But yeah, this has been a really long deck profile. It's kind of because we got sidetracked by the extra deck here. Because they're so, oh, it's cool, you can go for Zen Mighty. Although there's no windups to go for. But yeah, this is the deck profile that you guys have been requesting me to show, and I think it's pretty much done. I'll be checking it out later, maybe when there's more support for water, because there are probably going to be more support that is coming out in the future for the water archetype. I know that there's also this card. I wanted to show you guys this card. before we ended this video. This is a legendary ocean, so it is treated as Umi. This is a really old card, but I think it did get reprinted in the structure deck. So it reduces the level of all water monsters in both players' hands and on the field by 1, and the attack of water monsters gain 200 attack and defense. So pretty decent there. It can, if your opponent is playing something, it can really mess up some of the levels, like in their hand. Like I've seen people like get mad because you play this and they're like, oh wait, I can't. Is it Wind Up Shark water? I think he was water. Yeah, he is water. So if he become level 3, but then they can make him. It just makes it so they can't make rank. Yeah, it would kind of just mess them up sometimes. I don't know. It'll stop them from making rank 5s though. That would be for sure. But yeah, there are cards where it's like, Zombie World just messes up some things too. But yeah, this has been the deck profile. So if you guys can think of any improvements, let me know for the Genex build. I mean, I'm sure you could definitely play multiple heavy inventories, but I just don't like multiples of them because I hate drawing 2 of these cards and then like it's cool. I never really use them too often. I like discarding him though. It's a special summon this card because then I can get rid of stuff and it works out pretty well. But yeah, this is the Genex build that you guys have been requesting that I was playing for a few days. But thanks for watching, guys. Agent Eyes White Dragon signing out.